Are you currently stuck in a workout rut and you find yourself skipping your workouts and you don't know how to get back on track? Well, you're in luck because in this video, we're going to be talking about how to build consistency so that we can reach our goals faster. So let's get started. Our first way to build motivation and build consistency is to change up our workouts. Over time, when we're making progress, usually if we still have the same type of format of workout, we tend to get bored faster. So changing up the style of your workouts is what's going to keep you more consistent. For example, if you have previously been in a strength training phase because of a trend or many people were just doing it randomly and you found yourself kind of stuck in that phase, you might find that it's just not as interesting anymore. So you might switch to things like cardio to help break plateaus, see more progress, and essentially crank up the intensity so that you can make faster results. On the other hand, you also might find that simply just doing low impact workouts can get boring over time because you're simply just doing slow repetitions and you might be craving that cardio factor. So including things like explosive exercises is going to help you to get that heart rate up, burn more calories, and help you lose weight much better. Also, you might find that there are a ton of different cardio workouts, from dance to walking to intervals to HIIT, so you never will get bored with the category of workouts that you're choosing because there's always a different variety of things to choose from. While switching your workouts is a great way to stay motivated, the next thing that we're going to be talking about is remembering your why. If you remember a few videos back, I made a video about how to stay disciplined and how to master the art of discipline, and in that video, I talked about remembering your why. And basically, your why is a bigger picture of the end result of what you want to achieve and a better version of your higher self. But basically, when we remember that version of ourselves, it helps to keep us motivated because it helps us to remember why we started this journey in the first place, and that ultimately gives us that motivation and that drive to keep going and to keep succeeding and to keep pushing past our limitations. And when we push past our limitations, it sets this example and proof for ourselves. So anytime that we are struggling with something anywhere in our lives, we can always look back at that one moment that we pushed past our struggles and pushed past our setbacks, and we can look at that and use that to drive us into a better direction in a better area of our lives in a different way. Our third way to build consistency and to gain motivation is to think about our accomplishments. Now, this ties back to what I was just saying before with our previous achievements and our previous successes. But when we look at these accomplishments, we can use them as fuel to drive us towards the thing that we're trying to work towards. So one of these accomplishments could be that maybe you had an injury or maybe you got into some sort of accident and that has left you immobile, or you're not able to move and function like you are used to. And in that point of your life, you were trying to continue your weight loss journey and you were met with another setback that encouraged you to stay where you are and to not work towards your goals that you want. But instead, you chose to not listen to those voices that told you to sit down, to not work out, that you can't do it anymore, and there's no way that you can reach your goals in your condition. Instead, you started to become more creative with how you were working out. So instead of running like you used to do, maybe you're going on the elliptical, maybe you're biking, maybe you're swimming. You never stopped trying to make success happen, and you never stopped trying to work for you because you knew that ultimately you are the thing that matters most in your life. So working towards those goals and seeing those accomplishments are really helpful to fuel that positive mindset and to help you stay disciplined even when you're facing those challenges. However, if you find yourself struggling to meet those accomplishments and you just need a word of encouragement, the next thing that you could work on is talking to a friend about how you feel and possibly meeting up. If you know a friend that is as passionate as you about moving your body and working out and losing weight, then both of you can meet up at like the park or at a nice place, especially because right now it's summer and it's nice and warm, and you can go on walks and you can do yoga or Pilates or anything that you like. You can talk about the things that are bothering you and setting you back, and possibly get some good advice from that person on how they accomplished what they wanted and how they pushed past plateaus. Sometimes when we have that communication between ourselves and another person, it helps us to set ourselves outside of our own problems and look at the bigger picture. Maybe it's not just us that's struggling with these problems, but also people around us. Understanding that we are not alone in our situation really helps to have more compassion and empathy for ourselves instead of being so hard on ourselves. And honestly, who knows? Maybe you and your friend could talk about other things, like meeting up again in the future and hanging out and doing things that you possibly didn't get to do for a long time because you both have different lives. Being able to rekindle that relationship with another person can also be a nice motivator when we're trying to work towards our weight loss goals. So don't be afraid to talk about what you're struggling with somebody else, because who knows, maybe you could be struggling with a similar problem, and that could actually build a connection.